Hi Melody, I'm Corinna from Hi Melody, I'm Corinna from the Positive Vibe Tribe, and I'm welcoming you to talk to us today. And Melody Tribe is an energy healer, soul coach, award-winning author, and podcaster. And I'm really excited to have her here as a guest today because she's got so much to share, and especially her wonderful book called The Emotional Survival Guide, which is really aimed at sort of empaths and light workers and really frontline workers. So, Melody, welcome to the tribe, and give the tribe a little bit of intro and some background about yourself, and tell us about you as well.
Hi, Corinna. It's very nice to be here with the tribe. I have been a member of the tribe for a little while, so I've been watching all the good things that come out of that group, and it's great to see. I have been a healer, color therapist, you kind of name it, energy worker for the last 25 years. And it's been a very interesting journey, as I'm sure a lot of your tribe know already. And recently, I suppose in the last 10 years or so, I have been writing books. And basically, I take what I've learnt and the angels have so kindly given me a series of attunements and ways of looking at how the body works, and especially the interaction between our physical body and our soul body, and how we can bring more of that soul into the earth plane and feel comfortable with that process. I'm an empath as well, highly sensitive, and a lot of the techniques that are in the book are there as a result of my own journey of trying to cope with the energy. So that's a little bit about me. I'm living in Sydney, Australia, and yes, we're in lockdown too.
Oh, it's challenging times at the moment, isn't it? So this book is really, really relevant to this time and to our tribe and to so many people. So I read the book and wow, it really resonated, and the tools in there are so useful. So I'm just so excited to have you here to be able to share that with our tribe. Um,
What
yeah.
what I was going to say is I wanted to make the tools really practical and, sort of not so fluffy woo-woo and more, you do this and you do this and you do this, so that those that are not so open to spirit can still gain benefit because, just because you are spiritual doesn't necessarily mean you're an empath. And also being an empath doesn't mean you're spiritual. So I needed to bridge that gap a bit with the process, which is why, there are so many different kinds of techniques in there to help people that maybe, like one more than another. Yeah.
Absolutely, and that's the thing I can see. It's not just aimed at people who are spiritually minded. It is very practical. So even if you aren't into the spirituality side of things, you can just pick this book up, and there is a tool there that is going to really help you in with your emotional well-being, and if you suffer with anxiety or any sorts of any kinds of emotional problems as well. I mean, I really liked the Teflon coat, so I don't know if you can talk about the Teflon coat. I love it.
Well, the Teflon coat's got a bit of a story to it. I was having trouble going into shopping malls, and because as an empath, what happens to you is you get bombarded by all of that energy of every person that walks into that space. So just imagine for a moment that you have gone into this, the main area of a shopping mall, and let's say it's 10 o'clock in the morning, which is quite early for a shopping mall, right?
Hmm.
And you're there, and up until 7 o'clock the night before, there'd been, let's say, 10,000 people through the door. And they had left bits of themselves and their feelings and their emotions all kind of hanging around in that space. And then you as an empath go walking into that. And it's like a war zone for you if you're an empath, because you are bombarded by that emotional energy. And
Yeah.
sometimes, if somebody's had a difficult moment in that place, they might even fracture part of their soul and leave it hanging. So not only will you have the energy that's left, but you may also have soul fragments left as well. And they will come to you because they're unsure where to go next, how to get away from where they are, so they're wanting some help and assistance, which is why I always take the angels in with me when I go these days. But in the beginning, I didn't do that. And, I would spend an hour in a mall and come out at the end feeling absolutely exhausted, right? And not knowing what had happened to me. And so I was looking for a tool that I could use that would enable me to be able to walk in there and walk out with most of my energy in place still. And so I'm scrambling eggs in a Teflon pan. Right? And the angels always come to me in the most weird ways, right? They're really humorous, my angels that I've got. They've got a good sense of humor. And they don't kind of give it to me, they make me work to get the ideas, right, forward. So I am busy scrambling eggs in my Teflon pan. And there's this voice in the back going, that's what we want you to do. I'm going, what do you mean that's what you wanted me to do? Scratching my head, What, scramble eggs before I go into the small. And they're kind of, I'm putting the eggs on the plate and they're going, no, the pan, right? I'm going, what about the pan? And they're saying, well, the pan is Teflon. We want you to make a Teflon coat of your energy field. So not just do the normal, let's put one on you, but let's kind of really enforce it, like who said that just putting one layer of, energy around you, one color, if you like, which is the more traditional way of working with it, is enough in these times? The answer is no, it's not. So we want you to, wear your armor before you go into a place like that, right? So that's how the Teflon coat came about.
Brilliant.
It's a very good tool to have. It's just even the word, once your body gets used to it, and that's what's the really great thing about these tools, is that once your body remembers that's what it has to do, you only have to give it a one-word thing in your head. All I have to do is Teflon and the coat goes on, right? Because the body knows how to respond. And that's why when you've done these techniques for a while, this will be very quick. And that's the beauty of it. You don't have to go somewhere and, settle yourself and do all of those things. You just do it on the fly, so to speak, right? Which makes it a really valuable tool because that's how you're going to meet the energy around you.
Absolutely. And, like you said, just visualizing having that Teflon coat around you, the amount of protection that gives you from negative energies.
Yeah.
It's just so powerful. As an empath, over the years, I've used these visualizations and these tools, and they do work. And I know your book is just full of all sorts of different tools, and not just that Teflon coat, but so many others. And I felt like for myself, it's a really good reference point for, when you're going through a certain situation, you can just pull off that book and read it, and you've got so many references to different tools you can use for different
Yeah.
situations. And that's what I loved about it. Yeah.
Yeah, and that was the idea of it. With the Teflon coat too, there's the sense of empowerment, right? Because once you've got the Teflon coat on, that the energy is going to kind of come and slip down the side and not touch it, right?
Yeah.
So you can walk into emotionally challenging spaces, energetically challenging spaces, doing that. Now, that's kind of like your everyday. If you wanted to go into something that's a bit more difficult, let's say working with someone who is a major energy drain, or someone who is in attack mode around you, then what you'd be needing is the cone of silence, which literally comes down like a great big bell around your energy field and stops people in their tracks.
Wow.
And you have to see it like that. You have to imagine it. And, again, the name, I was always a bit of a, Max Smart lover. So, the fact that this came and that was the name that, Spirit wanted me to give it, I think is about, trying to connect. Spirit's trying to connect all the time with as many people as possible. And so they will use whatever tools are around them. And so, using a TV character helps people connect, and they go, oh, yes, this is what I need now. Right? So, so the cone of silence is the kind of like the top level.
Oh, brilliant.
When you're in really, really dark spaces, energetically dark. Yeah.
Oh, wow. Yeah, no, that sounds really. I know what you mean by that the spirit uses the tools around us to be able to interpret itself through us.
Mm,
So it's almost like a language, isn't it, that spirit is speaking.
that's
And
right.
so when you talked about the pan and Teflon and that came through and you were able to design and develop that tool through that, it's spirit is